Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Casa d'Angelo, with locations in Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, and Aventura.
Hold the mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defoe, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. And boy, oh boy, do we have a treat in store for you today. As you can see behind me, well, it looks like we're in the boardroom of like The Apprentice or something like that, but we've got the Christmas wreath behind me. We've got a beautiful array of food in front of me. We've got Jeff Defoe DeForest back to the side of me, and we are at Casa d'Angelo in Fort Lauderdale. And it's going to be a celebration of not just the holiday season, Defoe, but also white truffle season. Are you a fan of white truffles, and how are you today?
I couldn't be better. It's great to be here. I love Casa d'Angelo. This is tremendous to be back here. I remember when they first opened up. I loved coming here. I was a frequent customer. I haven't been as often as I would like to be, but every time you come, it never ceases to amaze the level of quality and just culinary delight that comes from every dish at Casa d'Angelo. And now we talk about being joined by royalty among
now
chefs.
The boardroom
My
is
goodness.
full. It seemed like we had a couple empty chairs, but nobody got fired, nobody got hurt, and
not yet, at least.
not yet. And I am so happy to be back here. It's been a few months. We've been making the tour. We saw Chef Ricky up in Boca. We went to the bakery bar, but now we're back at the mothership, the flagship location of Casa d'Angelo, right here, Fort Lauderdale, 1201 North Federal Highway. And it's two giants of the local culinary scene. Got Angelo Massanova here, who's the executive chef de cuisine. I don't know what your title is. I just know you're
Everything.
Everything.
The master.
That's Chef Angelo. They call Angelo Jr. Angelo Elia is back in town. I didn't think we were going to see him. We might get a little cameo appearance from Angelo Elia himself later in the show. But Angelo Massanova, Chef Ricky from the Boca location, and we're here for a celebration of the season, the holiday season, white truffle season. And I don't know about you, but I'm excited because look, you got some beautiful dishes right in front of us.
Yeah, we got a nice start for you here.
How are you gents doing? And I'm going to start with you, Angelo Massanova. How was Thanksgiving? How many covers did you guys do? And you guys are cranking up for the season, huh?
Yeah. We have our loyal local customers. Then they in town, and they after the holidays, of course, the Friday and Saturday was very busy. Well, we are busy all year long, and we have a good business, and just getting a little busier now with the holidays, and hopefully we're gonna have a great season again.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, you guys got a steady, loyal, local clientele, but now, of course, when snowbirds arrive and the seasonal residents, it becomes pretty much, not impossible to get in. You always can make a reservation and get into the three locations of Casa d'Angelo, but obviously it becomes a little bit more challenging, especially on the Friday and Saturday nights. Chef Ricky, you would tell me, I guess all the restaurants, all Casa d'Angelos are open for all the different holidays, Christmas Eve,
Correct.
Christmas Day.
We open Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. We open straight until Mother's Day. We might think about closing for Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday.
We're not sure yet. We're thinking about it.
Okay.
But definitely Christmas, we got our 7 fish feast and all that going on. And it's actually our busiest week out of the year.
Defoe, this is a very happy development for Jews like us, because remember growing up in New York, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, there would never be an Italian restaurant open. It was strictly Chinese or rummaging through the fridge for leftovers. I guess the options.
It was a celebration of open seating. Well, it was the name of the game. Look, this would be a great place to celebrate any evening, much less a holiday evening. You were asking about their white truffles. I'm curious to get the explanation from these two fine chefs. What separates the white truffles from any other type of truffles, and how rare they are, and how difficult they are to get a hold of.
Well, the white truffle is definitely significantly more different than any other truffle. First of all, because it's rare, it's very hard to find, and second, because the aroma and the flavor is unique. It's so strong. It's like literally opening just the box when we get our shipment from Urbani. It's like we open the box, we smell the truffle.
Everybody gathers in
You
the back.
never get used to that. You never
Yeah.
get used to that after so many years.
And let's get into some of the finer points. First of all, this is not just any truffle. Look, a lot of people, there's summer truffles, the black truffles. Some of them, they're very rare. They don't grow in very many places around the world. But the rarest and most precious ones are the white truffles of Alba, Italy.
Alba,
Correct.
And
Piedmont,
that's
yes.
what you have in here now. And you guys, over the next couple of weeks, are having these special white truffle dinners. 2 of them here in Fort Lauderdale. One of them tomorrow.
First one
night.
is tomorrow night,
Yep.
yes, and then we're gonna have another one on the 18th. So
The 19th or the 18th. I'm sorry. Was it? I think it's the
Let me
5
get
and
the
the
calendar
19th.
for you.
Didn't you get the memo?
Let's call the event manager right now.
You know what? For some reason, I
For
had
me,
the 19
any day
in my
right now is busy.
but
So
it might be the 18th. And you got so many holiday luncheons coming up too. I know you got the Archdiocese is coming in for a big lunch tomorrow, so
Yeah.
the season keeps you on your toes. And Chef Ricky, you've got a dinner going on.
We
When is
got
that?
one on Tuesday, next Tuesday, which is going to be the 10th. We have our only truffle dinner
Right.
that night.
And then the one in Aventura is going to be having theirs the following Tuesday. That's going to be December 17th. So again, if there's still availability left at the dinners,
yes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night we have still spots available. So next week, we have a big restaurant. So this room is gonna be like just for the truffle dinner. So
yeah. And if people want to get involved, all you got to do is kind of give a call here.
Call the
or
restaurant directly.
call the
Either
restaurant.
Boca or Fort Lauderdale Aventura,
book your
depending where they want to have the truffle dinner.
Yeah, and it's going to be a multi-course affair. And I guess, well, let me ask you, because these truffles are so rare because they're hunted by pigs. And
Well, it used
Mostly-
to be pigs. Now they change it with dogs
They're
because the
dogs.
pigs used to eat most of the truffles.
okay,
So that was a big issue.
yeah, so the pigs and wild boar, they're like the best to find, but they eat it. So they have to be
you
kind
don't get it in time, it's a problem.
it's kind of like me at some of these shows. I eat all the merchandise before I could go out to.
Tell me about
Some- but I guess the fact that it's so rare, it's only in season how many weeks a year, Chef Angelo?
It starts usually from October to January, and depends on the season, because if it starts snowing a lot in North Italy, it will be more difficult to find.
Yep.
So
And they are a little bit on the pricier side, but they are such a delicacy. And like you said, the aroma. And a lot of people know truffles from the truffle oil that they pour on the French fries, and it's a
Yeah, but
It's
that's
a-
a completely different world.
Right.
we like to make it simple and just shave the white truffle on it, very fine. It's like very thin.
Defo, have you had your share of like the freshly shaved truffles on top of?
I'm just happy when somebody grates some Parmesan cheese on one of my dishes, the places I go. But no, how creative can you get with this? You said that the simplicity of the presentation really is one of the keys. But as a chef, when you're dealing with this as one of the ingredients, how much fun is it for you to be creative with it?
It's fun, but also it's like you want to make sure then you don't go too far with ingredients, because you want to taste the truffle. So it's like try to make as simple as possible. So either we do a fettuccine with the truffle butter and just like shaved white truffle, or we do risotto reggiano with shaved white truffle with Parmigiano Reggiano. So it's like but then of course if we have some carpaccios, like you want to do some fried artichoke flakes, or like some ricotta aioli, and then you with the truffle.
You can get a little creative as long as you don't cover the flavor.
Yeah.
You know what's amazing about this presentation so far? The restraint that Mayo is showing.
Oh yeah,
he's got a plate of white truffles right in front of him, and he's yet to.
well this
Now we do
No,
have
that's-
utensils, Mike.
well this
Yeah.
is
Not
well,
the
what
white
do we
truffle.
have in front of us?
Not the white truffle yet.
Not
we're,
yet.
Gonna, we're gonna have a next.
This is a mere appetizer, as
Oh,
they
okay.
say. We've got
We
the.
left the troubles for.
No wonder
last,
he held
yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yes, I am saving myself. But
Saving
look,
himself.
this. Look, I'm going to hold it up to the folks here, and Lubie's going to take some photos that we're going to put up on the social later. But what do we got here? This is some of the most refined. I love your crudos, fish dishes, and it's just, yeah. Which one is this?
So, like, first of all, any dish that we make, even if we get creative, we always have to have the Italian touch. So this is amaci crudo, which we call a ricciola in Italy. So the Italian touch, of course, we have the extra virgin olive oil from Tuscany and olio piro, which is a great oil, some red pink peppercorn, and then mousse. Then you see that's Amalfi lemon mousse.
A lemon mousse with mascarpone.
It's actually like just like whipped cream and lemon marmalade, lemon jam from Amalfi Coast.
Marmalade.
So
Okay.
yeah, the lemon marmalade comes from the Amalfi Coast, and then we build up the mousse.
This is a serious plate. Do you want to partake of this, Steve?
He mentioned the Amalfi Coast. He got my attention with the lemon because
I'm proud of where I'm from, so it's like I'm from Salerno.
It's like we just went to Positano here.
And,
yeah, sitting out on
and
one of
here
those
we
beautiful
use only the
patios.
belly from the hamachi.
Only the
it's
belly,
very, very,
which is the
it's a little
most
more
tender, a little more
Correct.
flavor, a little fat. And again, we had a sushi experience yesterday that was quite incredible over at S3 with they have a new sushi chef on board. That's Chef Ped, and he really treated us as some sea delicacies, including some hamachi and other cuts. But this is a whole different kettle of fish, so to speak, because we got the Italian Mediterranean preparation, and it's just amazing how you can kind of take the
also
same.
some pistachios, Sicilian pistachios.
Yeah, the Sicilian.
It's very hard to find the pistachios from Sicily, from Bronte, because Bronte is a small town that produces pistachios, but we able to get it. We have the real Bronte pistachios.
Angelo Ilia, he knows people.
Yes.
And he they can't say no to Angelo.
They are unique flavor.
And I'm going to go in. I put a little bit of the lemon mousse on it. I got some of the herbs, the micro herbs on top.
That's micro celery.
Micro celery.
Celery, yes.
Nice.
Now you will see the kick on. It's nice, a little bit spicy.
And it cuts down a little bit that fat from the lemon mousse.
And that's not fishy at all. It's just pure sea silkiness. And that lemon mousse gives it a lusciousness that really it's a different dimension, because usually with the crudos you just get a little bit of the oil or maybe a little bit of
the soy they put and the spicy
but this
pepper. This got a little bit
it's
more.
Different, right? It's like
it's different and it's wonderful. So I mean, I don't know how you guys do it all the time. You just got to keep coming up with different platings and ingredients. It's unbelievably good.
Well, that's our main conversation between me and Ricky. It's like, and Angelo, it's like we're talking about food the entire time. That's how passionate we are. We always try to find something else.
He's not kidding, because every time I come in here in the afternoon, some places that are dinner only, they'll have the junior chefs coming in to do the prep and chopping stuff and prepping. I come in here no matter what hour, if it's noon or 1 o'clock, they're sitting around a table and they're sampling dishes, they're discussing dishes, because they're Italian. Sometimes maybe they're arguing a little about this.
Why not?
What's that creative process like for you, Ricky?
Well, it's just, we just like to grow, and there's always something new out there. And like Chef Angelo said, we like to sit down with our big boss Angelo and discuss new things to bring in. And for us, it's fun. We have fun doing it. So
I have fun eating it, so that's great. What's the second thing here, Angelo? You got this is incredible, really, because you showed me these are scallops, right?
Yes, those are.
They look like baked clams, right?
Yes, they look like, because they're baked scallops. So then
these were harvested yesterday.
Yes. I was showing you the label.
He showed me the tag, and I took a picture of it. I'm going to post it later on the social, including the Let's Eat South Florida group, which, by the way, got a great shout out. I don't know if you saw, I posted this morning, Defo, but the guy who's renowned in the restaurant business, Will Gadara, who was the general manager and ran the front of the house at one of the best restaurants in the world, 11 Madison Park. He wrote a book called Unreasonable Hospitality, which our friends at Batch New Southern Kitchen gifted me a copy. It's just about how places go above and beyond. Somebody from the Let's Eat groups forwarded him the story about how somebody went to IKEA and wrote a lampoon post about the hot dogs at IKEA. But it was very tongue-in-cheek, and everybody received it very well, humorously. But then it made its way up to the top of the corporate chain at IKEA because the guy made a crack about how the hot dog was so good he wants to come back for his anniversary dinner at IKEA. And
Okay.
right, something that was a
Definitely
total
cheaper than Casa di Angelo.
it was a total joke. But the people at IKEA took the joke well, and they got in touch with this guy from his Let's Eat post and invited him and his wife out for a anniversary lunch. And they actually set up a table and stuff in the middle of like where their store is, and a whole multi-course lunch. They wrote about that. But anyway, somebody wrote to Will Guidara about how IKEA kind of seized on this kind of lampoon thing and made a whole beautiful lunch out of it. And anyway, Will Guidara just kind of gave a shout out to the group and told this story about how it's an example of unreasonable hospitality. Bringing it back to Casa di Angelo, Defo. I'm doing the weave, by the way, as they call it.
I'm anxious to see where you're going with this. Yes.
You guys are also masters of hospitality, and they call it unreasonable hospitality because people go over the top. I mean, that's what you pride yourself on. For every guest, you accommodate different requests and things like that. Yes.
Yes, we do.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I went a long way for to get to this point also, which is these are scallops from Island Creek Oyster Company. And I did see the card that had the printed date, the harvest date. Can you guess the harvest when these came out of the water, Defo?
That was yesterday.
Yes, 12/3. He was paying attention.
I was there with the fishermen.
Yes.
You will be in
I had the
town.
boots on.
Luckily, they didn't fish Elion out of any water these days. But man, it was the 25th anniversary of that over the Thanksgiving weekend. But these came from the waters of off Massachusetts, right? And
Yes, and they're amazing. It's like we were shucking like 15 minutes ago, like right before we baked it. So.
And how do you prep this? This is just with a little bit.
This is our aromatic breadcrumb, which we do with toasted crumbs, a little fennel, pink peppercorn, lemon zest.
And are they just meant to be eaten with a fork, or is this
Correct,
something?
with the fork, or
Yeah, and then
I'm not used to the fork activity.
Then at the bottom we have white balsamic beer blanc.
Okay.
And that fresh salad is with orange, fennel, endive, and a little bit of frise.
So to eat this properly, do I like swipe it across
That's
that little bit of the beurre blanc?
I see you know what you're doing.
A little bit. There's not much that I'm expert in, but eating is one of these things, and that's a beautiful bite.
Yeah, the beurre
It's
blanc
very
is-
fresh.
because of the white balsamic, it keeps it on a sweet and sour side. So it's like
And those breadcrumbs give it great texture. Let Defo have one.
Looks
of those.
phenomenal. Yeah.
And man, you're right.
I'm in.
So fresh, so delicious, straight from the sea. Is this going to be on the menu tomorrow, or is it going to be
Tonight.
like?
yeah, tonight we're gonna have it here in there.
Very nice.
We like to sell. We get the fish in today. We sell it today. We get fresh fish in every day,
Oh wow.
included on Sundays.
Well, this is quite the treat, quite the appetizer. I guess we're going to take our first break because it's time. You're going to see some truffles being shaved onto some of the great dishes. We will save that. Exactly what's coming, I don't know yet, but all I know that if it involves the white truffles of Alba, it's going to be really quite a treat. And again, you can sample it yourself. Book a reservation at one of the upcoming white truffle dinners here at Casa di Angelo. Go online to casa-d-angelo.com to get all the information and make your reservations. And meanwhile, we'll come back with more with Chefs Ricky and Angelo here on the Lunchbox after these words. For the finest poultry and the freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. For the finest and authentic Greek cuisine, Taverna Kima is the place to go. 6298 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. It's been around for nearly 2 decades. Every day is a feast with grilled lamb and fish, house-made spinach pie and moussaka, gyros, traditional dips, mezes, with soft, warm pita. It's open 7 days for lunch and dinner with happy hour daily from 3 to 6 p.m., indoor, outdoor, private dining, and they are now featuring a monthly lamb roast brunch on the first Sunday of every month. So celebrate life at Taverna Kima. For reservations and information, Southern comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. If you want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting, have I got the place for you. Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox at Casa d'Angelo. We're having a little lunchtime feast, Defo, and how incredible is this? And now that the chefs are gone, I could go back to Mike Mayo, usual disgusting slobbiness or sloppiness. But this, okay, a lot of times when people get a scallop at a restaurant, they'll serve it just the plump meat itself. And sometimes restaurants like French restaurants have these big old scallop shells that they use as a plate. You see what I have here, Tifo?
Looks like you have the emblem for a gas station.
That's right.
Perfect.
It looks like the shell emblem. This is a scallop shell that the scallops that they prepared for us for the first course here came out of, and it's not some decorative plate. This is the actual scallop that came out of the water in Massachusetts yesterday, was flown here, and now was shucked open before the show. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw the card that, has the actual, the every time that you have shellfish prepared, there has to be a card when it was harvested. It's supposed to stay with the bag, whether it's oysters or clams. These are little things that people don't realize about the restaurant industry, but these scallops came with a tag, and it says harvested on 12/3. And I saw all these unopened, and they shucked them open. They prepared them, and that's it. It's an actual scallop shell And that is the kind of quality that you find here. And it's hard to believe that I ate a McRib last week, and now I'm eating this.
Certainly have stepped up your game in terms of quality. The treatment of it, though, was fantastic. I mean, the way they did this with the breadcrumbs, just amazing. Melt in your mouth, delicious, as was the dish with the lemon mousse from the Amalfi Coast.
Yeah, and
you know what? When I was on the Amalfi Coast, I couldn't find anything quite like this.
No, and it's like pistachios, the Bronte pistachios from Sicily. These are all top-notch ingredients, and we're leading up to getting the white truffles. And now,
are you aware of what this is, Mike?
It looks like a plate of lentils.
Okay.
And I don't know if people can see here.
Yeah, well, you're going to pour it on the table. There.
Oh, well, I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't know. It's.
I think you need to eat some first. Yeah.
It's a risotto. Oh, yeah. It's not. I don't know. You know, this is why we need sometimes the chefs, because it looks like
you need a food guide.
I need a food guy. What's it? No, I'm gonna take a bite. It looks like risotto. It also looks like truffles. Why don't here? We're gonna have a thing called identify this dish. Tifo, you want to take a little
no,
shot?
Go ahead. Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna go in for this. Meanwhile, now that the chefs are off preparing, I guess, a pasta course.
I like that they're working during the show. I mean, you got two top-notch chefs.
It's definitely lentils. Lubie, that's a lentil dish, and hearty wintertime when the temperature dips. Tifo, it's been a while since we've seen each other. Big weekend of sports. What to you was the most shocking development over the weekend?
I don't know that anything was particularly shocking, although you would probably point to Michigan beating Ohio State straight up and not derailing Ohio State from going to the college football championship, but certainly minimizing their chances in the eyes of gamblers of actually winning it all, which you would have given them a shot at that, except for the fact that Ryan Day chokes in these spots. And they did play Oregon tough as nails, but doesn't look good for them after losing to Michigan in a big ball game at Ohio State. They were at home, so interesting. And of course, the Canes fans are crying because they think they got jobbed again by the Saban factor, even though Saban's not coaching Alabama.
So wait, you mean to tell me that it's not a shock to you that the University of Miami lost to your humble alma mater, Syracuse?
That wasn't a shock, I don't think.
Well, not a shock, because you expect that Mario Cristobal is going to choke on his own lack of intelligence and lack of football acumen and any sense of
lack of defense too.
And
they couldn't stop these guys. So, but Syracuse wasn't a bad team. They weren't, the upper echelon, but they had a hell of an offense going with this guy Kyle McCord, who, ironically, do you think Ryan Day was crying a little bit after he scored 10 points against Michigan and watched his quarterback rack up 40-something against the University of Miami? Because that guy left Ohio State last year because he was being overlooked.
The embarrassment of riches that comes from these big programs. And now if you can't get on the field and you
money
can't make
talks.
your NIL money, then you got to go somewhere where you could get a little bit of airtime, showtime. We welcome Mike Lubie from behind.
So I just want to describe the food I just took away. It was not for us. It was actually Angelo's lunch.
Oh, shit.
And it was, you were right, though. It was lentils. It was lentils. Good job by you.
I know a lentil from a risotto. I mean,
agreed.
Unless it's a squid.
They're like, who brought that out? I'm like, I don't know. It was just brought to us. They're like, that wasn't for you. That was for Angelo. And Angelo's, where's my lunch?
At least he didn't eat it with his hands first.
This is a lunchbox first, where
Glad I didn't take it.
I've actually dipped
No, you did nothing wrong. They brought it out. It's fine. They're not
The
mad
good
at us.
news is I didn't double dip.
No,
Right?
you did
This
not.
is on camera. I just took
Yes.
one spoonful,
did.
put it here, and I said, that's not risotto, because a squid ink risotto would be black. This is brown and granular and grainy,
You nailed it.
and it's a lentil. And it's
Yes,
a beautiful,
and I took it away
healthy
because
dish,
Angelo was looking
which
forward to that.
explains why Angelo Ilia looks like a one-iron, rail thin
Exactly,
now,
exactly.
fit
So
as
much,
a fiddle.
so much for the show here.
And and
So I just wanted to explain that.
yeah.
I wasn't taking food out of your mouths.
no,
It was for Angelo.
That was a good one. Nice shirt, by the way. Everybody loved your shirt.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, he's got it. Everybody's
We're
very
dressed
well
nice. We're
dressed
at
today
Casa
because
D'Angelo. I mean, you have to come correct. as
we
they
know
say.
how to clean up. I got my hair cut this
You
morning.
look nice.
Looks a
Oh,
little
looks
flat,
nice.
though. Did
They
They
iron
did make
What
it
happened?
flat. Why
Yeah.
is it flat like that?
My
Doesn't look right.
stylist always puts a little like
Oh,
holding cream, and he likes to
You look
press
like a
it down
13-year-old
flat.
boy about to have your bar mitzvah. Like that's really what you
do something with that, Mayo. You don't look right.
I like the cut. It's just
I
like
actually
he
meant to
does
say
press it
something
down.
about that.
Haircut's okay, yeah. But it looked like you literally like
and
you ironed
meanwhile,
it.
we're celebrating the holidays. We got the wreath behind us,
We
and
do.
I look like a candy cane or
the table. At
You
the
wear
table
the
cloth at
appropriate
it.
shirt for the
yeah,
Italian
no,
restaurant.
that's why this is my scenes from an
Rick
Italian
Pitino made
restaurant.
love all over that.
Exactly.
But this is not one of these kind of tablecloth Italian restaurants. This
no.
is white linen all the
Not
way.
small
I
ones
could
where
have
you
wore
get
my
pizzas and-
just freshly pressed white linen shirt, but no, I'm in the holiday season. I look like a
You are.
candy cane,
You
and I'm
do, you do.
ready to go marching in one of the Hollywood candy cane parade.
Although
parades.
I don't, this isn't meant to embarrass you in any ways, but the show yesterday was shot at a different angle, and I did receive some commentary.
I was
about-
huge.
He wasn't fun.
No,
he
no,
wasn't
I
a
was
fan of
Mayo,
the
yeah.
angle, but the actual for the show went really
it,
well.
It exposed
but
a
it
few
showed
things
all
that we've been
Mayo.
talking about.
Well,
It showed all.
And
I,
know, I looked-
I can't tell you if it was one, it was 20 people who called me today
I
and
looked
said,
bigger
"What's up
than
with
the
Mayo?"
big,
You look like the
the
whale.
Goodyear blimp. It also
Yeah.
wasn't a flattering color for the shirt. Right before the show, I wanted to go and run to my car and get the the black
he wanted a black
sweater and
sweater,
black
yeah.
Oh,
pull it
wow,
over
look at this.
because the black is
With
a little bit
slick
slimming.
and-
But no,
slimming.
yes, you are absolutely correct. I was watching the show back, and yes, I have put on some weight since.
Your daughter called you out on this.
Oh yeah, no,
She'd
I mean,
be more inclined to say, "Hey, you look great, Dad."
no, she's more inclined to say, "Hey, have you thought about Ozempic?" But meanwhile,
Have
the
you thought
food
about
tour
an
gets-
intervention? Is what the
No,
it
not-
looked like, yeah.
Never, because you know what? I'm having way too much fun. And look, we got.
I mean,
more
it's tough.
things-
You have you've said this many times through the 3 years we've been doing this, that the job itself, includes an element of self-sabotage when it comes to health. Because what are you going to do? Look at what you're eating for lunch today.
But people, it's they'll say pull out the world's smallest violin because nobody wants to hear me complain about having
No.
to eat uni and pristine sushi one day and then have fresh scallops and all this great crudo, and now we're going into the pasta course. We're gonna get the chefs back here in a minute. Yeah, to me the biggest shock was that I actually cashed 2 money line tickets over the weekend.
Oh, nice.
One on Georgia Tech, straight up against Georgia.
Good one.
No, but
they
again,
lost though. They
but
lost on the money
They
line.
did, but here's what I did. I did the ultimate knit hedge move because midway through the fourth quarter, when the lead was shrinking and Georgia Tech was still up by 7 points, they offered me a cash out of 3.5 to 1 instead of 5.5 to 1. It was plus 550 that I took Georgia Tech.
Okay.
And then in the fourth quarter, I was able to get $39 on my $10. So I
Good
cashed
move.
out
And you won both ways.
and I watched those 8 overtimes without even breaking a sweat because I had already cashed my ticket.
Nothing wrong with 3 to 1, my friend.
No, and then because I thought Georgia Tech was a good team, they beat Florida State, they beat Miami. Why wouldn't they beat Georgia? Georgia looked a little shaky, and I just think, talk about the opposite of Cristobal. Georgia Tech is a well-coached team. Like everything they do, every game they play, they make all the right moves, and even the players know what they do. They know how to hit the ground after an interception when the game is locked up instead of trying to run and possibly fumble and lose a sure thing. And which brings us back to Cristobal and going for the field goal. And man, I think some people are throwing some shoes at TVs on that. one.
Very suspect. My theory on it's a simple one. We've been talking about it, Lubie and I, on the sports shows. But you have the ball and you need 2 scores if you're going for a field goal. But you're inside the 10-yard line or at the 10-yard line. Now, there was a few minutes left in the game. The likelihood is you're probably not going to get the ball back. But even if you're thinking that you might, you're still in a better position to get the touchdown there. And maybe you don't need to go very far with limited time when you get the ball back in poor field position or worse field position. So if you're that close, I think you go for the touchdown there. And if you lose,
you get 2 shots.
sometimes you just lose because you couldn't make the play.
Not that your defense is really going to be stopping anybody, but it gives you a better shot at
But going
least.
for a field goal in that spot, I mean, the 10-yard line, it starts to get a little suspect. But, when I see coaches do this all the time, they're at the 3-yard line. Yeah, what makes you think you're going to get that close again to getting a touchdown?
Yeah,
To
especially
get
when
the second score. So you may as well try for it there. And if you lose, unfortunately, you got beat on that play.
and you're
that's
on
it.
the road, so you might as well take your best shot you can.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was very similar with Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers, and I think it created one of the big divides that we've seen coaching quarterback, where it was a 4th down against Tampa Bay in a playoff game, and LaFleur goes for a field goal, which didn't really do them much good, where they were then going to have to recover an onside kick to have a chance to win the game. And Rodgers was fuming, and the rest is history. I mean, he left the team after that.
Meanwhile, now Rogers, his future looks. Is he going to play? I guess because all the speculation was that he might have seen his last down, but now I guess they're saying that this Sunday he will be the starting quarterback for the Jets against the Dolphins. And at this point, who cares? There are two teams going nowhere. It looks like.
I don't know. Lubie has the Dolphins winning their last 5. So
great, and then all they'll do is maybe make the playoffs, go on the road, and get annihilated in the first round, extending their winless playoff streak for another
utility,
year.
My friend.
Hey, speaking
this
of
is a city of false hope when it comes to sports. The good thing about South Florida,
I bet against everybody, and I'm making money. The only thing I'm winning on this year is not poker, not horses. My little sports bets. I'm picking underdogs all day long, and I know when our home teams are going to choke like dogs. And hey, speaking of football, you know who came in here earlier this season? And Angelo Massanova posted on his Instagram account the crew from Thursday Night Football when they were in town. Al Michaels and Fitzpatrick and Richard Sherman came into Casa d'Angelo right here. I was going to ask him about that and what it was like preparing meals for those guys, especially Al Michaels, who apparently would not touch this stuff. He's
never eat a vegetable in his life.
Never in his life, and he's in his 80s, right? So
I think he just hit 80.
So maybe that is the key to life: is I should just eat all of this and none of that. But
I don't know. You don't look so good.
I feel great. I feel like $1 million.
Oh, not you. I'm talking about Michael's. Showing signs of age.
Still like. You know what? I know people rag on him. I still enjoy listening to him call a game.
He's fine. Man.
It's not as bad as Costas calling baseball. But
Costas, I can't diss Costas, though. I think he's one of the greatest that ever did this.
And he's a Syracuse alum.
Well, regardless, and I knew him a little bit when I was at Syracuse. I think he was in the class behind me, but we shared some different things together, experiences. But the guy was great. I mean, he was great back then.
He was always a pleasure.
It was no surprise that he made it big very soon after getting out of college.
Yeah, he made it big for a small guy, but it was.
I mean, polished and professional.
Oh yeah,
and very intelligent in his approach.
Every time I dealt with him, it was a real pleasure. All right, the chefs obviously are cooking more stuff, and maybe with
I don't know what more we need, but
I thought I behaved myself. Do you think
I
scared him off the show for the rest of the remainder?
No, you've been good today.
I've been good. Yeah. I used my utensils. I didn't do any big bites.
I
don't have any
stains
restraint on my shirt. Before we take another
No, you
break,
did nothing wrong. It was just so funny when I was like, what was that dish called? Because we're like sort of fighting about it. And the Angelo Massanova was like, what dish? What went out? Nothing went out. I'm like, no, the dish came out. It was like a circular pasta, and we're not sure. And he's like, the lentils? That wasn't for Mayo. That was for Angelo. That was for Angelo. And Angelo's like, where's my lunch?
Those lentils are delicious, and I'm going to basically start in late January a new all lentil, all vegetable diet.
Okay.
Before that, though, we'll take another break. But before that, got to talk about the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. It's upcoming. It's going to be January 13th to the 19th, and featuring all the culinary talent throughout the local area, intimate dinners. There's going to be all these big events, including the Big Five, where you can get an extra discount and extra savings if you use the promo code Lunchbox when you go online and get your tickets. Go to vlfoodwine.com, look at all the events, and the Wednesday night cocktail competition, Thursday night Asian themed walk and roll, Friday night barbecue battle, which is going to be in a new location where there's going to be live fire cooking and smoking all day long. That's going to be great. And then Saturday grand tasting, Sunday new brunch event. Those 5 events, if you use the promo code Lunchbox, get an extra 15% savings off the already low ticket price. So again, go online, vlfoodwine.com. And one other note, we're going to be doing a double header today. We're going right from here. We're going to go over to this new house on the river, on the new river, with our friend Steve DePuzzo, who as a restaurateur has all kinds of things going on. Sistrunk Market Food Hall, the Atlantic Beach Hotel there on Fort Lauderdale Beach, and he has bought and refurbished the house on the river. It used to be known as River House, right there on the new river, right near the Performing Arts Center. And he's did a really nice job. He's got all kinds of things going. It's a huge house. He has all these different little private dining rooms in there, and then there's a beautiful veranda set up overlooking the New River where they're doing weekend brunches, champagne brunches, afternoon high tea, and we're going to be there for the happy hour on Wednesday. We're going to do a little happy hour session with him later today, and we're storing all these like chestnut. Do people store chestnuts for the holidays? Squirrels store nuts for the season. We're storing all these little nuggets for the holiday weeks because we'll take some time off and do some re-airings of shows that we tape later in the day at off hours, and it's going to be a fun time. So that's House on the River. Go check it out yourself. It's open Wednesday through Sunday, and again, like I said, the weekend brunch and those afternoon high teas, a lot of fun. We'll be talking with Steve about that later today. All right. Meanwhile, let's take our second break. And after that, we'll be eating more of this great lunch at Casa D'Angelo in Fort Lauderdale. Remember, the white truffle dinners, actually, it will be tomorrow night, December 5th, and December 19th. So, again, that date, December 19th for the second one. If you want to get it involved, go online to casadangelo.com and get your reservations now. All right, let's take that second break, and we'll be back with more on the Lunchbox.
Hey, Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligan's, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Looking for great seafood that's a little further inland? Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C, 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner, closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial. Serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the And we're back on the Lunchbox, Casa D'Angelo, Fort Lauderdale, 1201 North Federal Highway. We love it here. I mean, to the side of me, you can't see it, but there's walls of wine. And in front of me, the pasta course has arrived. It's a tortelloni. I don't know what it's stuffed with. It looks like some eggplant on the plate, some fried eggplant chips on top. We're waiting for Chefs Angelo Massanova and Chef Ricky from the Boca location to come back with the main course, which is, I understand,
We're not even to the main course yet.
oh yeah, this
Wow.
is how we roll here. This is quite impressive. They got a filet mignon, I understand, coming, and they're going to be putting a little white truffle on top of that, and I believe also a fish dish with a little white truffle. And again, the white truffles of Alba, in season now through the holidays. You can get it even when you come out on a regular night. You don't have to go to the big multi-course dinner that's going to be happening here tomorrow night and the other locations. Can come out and have a truffle supplement. I did that a couple of weeks ago, and I got the fettuccine. I said, would you like a little white truffle on top of that? And, I'm feeling flush now. I asked how much. They told me a price. I said, done. And they come out, and I don't know if they do it for everybody. I assume when you pay for that supplement, you get a nice truffle shower. And it kept coming and coming. And I was like, yeah, that is quite a fragrant treat. So that's going to happen in a second here. Meanwhile, later on, we're going to be at House on the River. Tomorrow, I'm losing track. We're going to be at another. We're going back to our friend Frank Tillrico at the Ocean Manor Resort for Casa Calabria, and that's a different part of Italy because Casa d'Angelo here focuses on the cuisine from all over Italy, but down at Casa Calabria, it's the southern tip of the boot where Frank Tallarico is from. Looking forward to getting back there right tomorrow, Defo.
Always a great place. Yeah, I mean, the assortment of Italian restaurants here is incredible, and they all do a great job with different styles. It really is remarkable. The food, Florida, no wonder so many people subscribe and are part of Let's Eat South Florida, because
Yeah, I think
it's impossible to keep pace. There are certain corridors where you could find 5 outstanding Italian restaurants in an area that you wouldn't necessarily anticipate as being a food capital, but really a great job. And Frank Tallarico is as sincere as they come. Very similar in some respects to what we see here at Casa d'Angelo, with the chefs are totally into it. Really go out of their way to make sure that people get. You're going to love this word, an authentic.
And there they
experience.
have, their house specialties are the Calabrian, the Andouja with the pasta, and then some of the other things.
Frank's big on, I mean, the ingredients certainly essential to any great meal if you're going to go and get high-level Italian food. And he's very particular about what he does there, just like, as you see, the chefs here are at Casa d'Angelo.
And I'm going in on this tortelloni here. It's like a big stuffed pasta, house-made pasta that has like a ricotta, whipped ricotta inside.
Very nice.
With a kind of a on top of some diced eggplant and some stewed tomatoes, and it's really good. Very rich and hearty. And again, we're just working our way up until the main course.
Now, what do you like having truffles on? You're kind of the truffle master of the three of us.
Now,
Lubie, I don't see going way out of his way to get like truffles. I like them when I have them, but it's not like I say, hey, I got to search out the best truffles in town. But what kind of dishes do you like?
Some people like putting it on a little bit of a nice fresh piece of fish, like a white fish that you could kind of really get enhanced with the aroma of the truffles. They're going to be doing it on a nice piece of filet. And again, filet is such kind of a neutral piece of meat that, it doesn't have the most fat. So that's why you put truffle on top of that. It also can enhance that red meat experience. But for me, look at me. I mean, look at me. I'm pasta. And like when I came in a couple of weeks ago with Val, and we sat at the bar, and just a simple, fresh, house-made like fettuccine or the wide pappardelle noodles, and then you put that not in any kind of heavy tomato sauce, but just a light olive oil. And then you shave the truffle, on top of just a nice tossed fresh pasta with olive oil. That is simplicity, and it is deliciousness at its most extreme. I could eat that every day, and it looks like I have been eating it every day. So
do you find it other places, other Italian restaurants? Do they go into the white truffle thing? Because we heard the extent that these guys go to.
They're rare, but they do now because thanks to worldwide travel, and there's some truffle purveyors out there that hit a lot of the upscale Italian joints. And I did also have some truffles the other week when I made my debut dinner appearance with Phil and Kate from the Visit Lauderdale Food Festival. But we went to the Daniels, that new steakhouse downtown Fort Lauderdale, south of the tunnel. That used to be a place where my friend Giovanni worked at Valentino, but now it's Daniels, and they also had a truffle supplement going with one of their pasta courses. And when they brought it out for me, they kept going and going, and felt a little embarrassed, but not enough to say stop. You don't need to do that. But
I don't know that you embarrass easily when there's food involved. I mean,
I'm pretty shameless. Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah.
Total shamelessness when it comes to the whole dining experience. Hey, I had a good dining experience last night. I tried a new restaurant in Aventura. You're a fan. You were telling me about a new Portuguese place up in Pompano, right?
Yes.
Well, this is a offshoot of a old Portuguese place that's been in South Miami a long time called Old Lisbon. I don't know if you ever heard of that or been there.
I think I've seen it.
But they opened up a new
look
location in Aventura about 3 months ago in August, mid-August. Here we go. Angela's back, and this is something for
Oh my goodness.
Defo
Look
the
out.
man himself. Now,
Yeah.
here we go. This is it.
That
We see now
looks
they call it
incredible.
white truffle because the exterior is white, but when you shave it, it comes
It's more
out
like on the brownish side.
Right.
Yes.
But why don't you?
What
I
a
guess just tell
presentation.
us what you've
Wow.
prepared for us, and welcome back, and thank you for again. Real quickly, tell us a little bit about the pasta course, and then
These are ravioloni with big ravioli, of course, and the filling is
was it ricotta?
taleggio cheese,
Taleggio, okay.
taleggio cheese, and duja. You know,
Okay.
duja is a
Oh yeah, the
salami
spicy
spread.
sauce. Yeah, the
from,
spicy salami from the Calabrian
from
region.
Calabria, exactly. So it's a little bit from north, a little bit from south. Then we got some crispy eggplant chips and eggplant and cherry tomato sauce.
Oh my. Okay, and then now we've got the
So
truffles going on.
This is very Piedmontese. You know, it's like we got the filet mignon with the tomino cheese from Piedmont, melted on top.
Oh, it's cheese and truffle on top of filet.
And there is also some blue oysters, mushrooms. The bottom it's Barolo truffle sauce.
Excellent. Oh, got that going. Welcome back, Chef Ricky. Why don't you
you.
describe the fish dish, and I will try to.
So here we have a potato crusted halibut with braised castelluccio lentils, and the sauce is truffle beurre blanc, and obviously couldn't miss our white truffle shavings.
And it smells beautiful. And yeah, that's the lentils that I just, I guess, ate off of Angelo's lunch plate.
Angelo's lunch, yeah.
He'll be happy to know I didn't double dip. I just took one little
There was
spoonful.
quality control.
Yeah, it was excellent, by the way. And this is the same base
Correct.
here. Yeah.
There's a little bit of the black truffle butter in there. as
Now I
well.
see Defoe's drooling over there.
Oh,
He's
that
a
looks
big
fantastic.
fish.
Yeah.
He's a big fish guy. So I'm going to send this over to him
nice.
first.
I get to dive
And
into
do you have a knife over there? Yeah, he's got a
that.
knife
Too,
in
yeah.
front of him.
I don't know that you even need one.
Oh, he's got steak knives. This is everything, and this
It's
is
a little bit better because
with a
it's got potato
demi-glace.
crust.
What's
This
it,
is a
wine?
bordelaise truffle bordelaise
Ooh,
sauce.
truffle bordelaise sauce. This is all right. I don't even know where to start. I guess I want to take a picture first, and I just want to thank you, gentlemen, for preparing this kind of stuff. This is just beautiful.
There you go.
Thank you. We got it the right way. Yep. Before I dig in on this, and this looks spectacular. We were talking before a little bit of football and the Dolphins and the but Chef Angelo, earlier this year you had the crew from Thursday Night Football came in to the restaurant.
Yeah,
And I
the
know I
entire team.
saw it on your Instagram. What was that like? Have you cooked for them before? Do you know Al Michaels, or how'd that come about?
I didn't know Al Michaels, and it was a pleasure to meet him. We did know some of the players. Tony Gonzalez has been here before, so it's like some of these players, when they were in town playing against the Dolphins, they always visit us,
Right.
So Richard Sherman also, it's very nice. But Al Michaels is a legend, so
Yeah.
it's like very nice to meet him.
And what did they eat, and how did they enjoy it?
They're, because it was a big party, so they had a set up menu. So they're like some nice fish, filet mignon. So they had to choose from different things, and they're all night here. They actually were in this room where we're sitting right now all night before the game on a Wednesday night.
Now, it's been said that Al Michaels has never eaten a green vegetable in his life. Did he? Did you prepare any vegetables for him, or did you see him eat?
We
any
did
veg-
prepare some vegetable family style, but I was in the kitchen. I
Did you
didn't check if
witness him
did
eating
I
his
witness- I didn't see if he was actually eating the vegetables, but we did send a lot of stuff on the table. So
Very nice. Now, Chef Ricky, talk a little bit about Boca, the scene up there for the whole holiday season. Here, obviously, all kinds of things, decorated, festive. It's same vibe up there.
I mean, we decorate as well. Yes, we have more of a Jewish clientele,
Mm-hmm.
but we do decorate for Christmas, and we have people coming in like 3 times a week up there. We have all our regulars coming back from north in the last few weeks, especially next week. Everybody's
Nice.
going to be coming down. They escaped from that cold weather up north.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the roll until Mother's Day, pretty much.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
very good,
great.
thanks.
I mean, you're going to be packed. What's the most covers that you've done in a night in Boca location?
Well, believe it or not, because we're not a very large restaurant, we have done up to 560 covers
Right.
on a New
Wow.
Year's Eve.
And you only have about 100,
We said about 180 people.
180 seats.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
What about you here, Angelo? What's the
yeah, we are larger, so we go over 200 people, so we consider a large
Over
amount of people.
600.
Yeah, so we did 650, 660. That's our record pretty much on New Year's Eve.
on New Year's Eve?
New
Okay.
Year's Eve, yeah. Also Valentine's Day gets very.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. But Valentine's Day, it's a lot of two tops, right?
Yes,
So it's
yes.
not as big.
But New Year's Eve is definitely our top. New Year's Eve and both show weekend, it's our busiest days.
So same thing this year, New Year's Eve. I mean, there's still availability, or is it pretty much booked up yet, or you're not?
I
Quite
believe
sure?
we still have some availability, yes.
Okay,
But
good.
it's, of course, everyone, there's people that they're served the year before
Yeah.
for make sure then they have their table,
No, that's one
They're
way
on the
to
way
do it.
out and they book next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say about 50 or 60% of
Oh,
our
yeah.
customers up in Boca too are the same regulars
Same
that
thing,
keep
yeah.
on booking. We still have some openings too. The different in Boca, we have a fixed menu.
That's neat.
Yeah,
because-
that's a la carte, yes.
Yeah, because on the Let's Eat group today, I posted my annual, where everybody's always asking, where should I go for New Year's Eve? Where can I go for Christmas Eve? And well, the answer is you can go right here to Casa d'Angelo, well, any of the 3 locations. But we put up a big list so that people can kind of find whatever they like, their price point, their style of cuisine. And again, go onto the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group, click on featured. If it's not appearing at the top of your computer, if you're on your phone, you have to click on the featured tab and it'll bring up that holiday guide to restaurants, and restaurants are allowed to go on there and also post about your hours and specials and all the other kind of things that you got going on in the holiday season. Here, you guys got private dinners coming up. Well, I mean, all kinds of holiday dinners, holiday parties.
There's a lot of events right now.
Yeah,
with,
lots of events. We booked all the way through the end of the year.
Nice. You guys are focused on the kitchen. Just how crazy is it in terms of the staffing? Do people? How big of a crew do you need for some of these holiday nights?
Oh yeah, we have like almost 18 servers on the floor, and between also bussers and food runners, it's a lot of people on the floor.
We're running like 50 people
Yeah,
in the
50 people.
restaurant.
50 staff.
Let's say then the family meal is pretty big.
And
It's
how
like-
many in the kitchen? Are you stumbling over
I have a
each
whole
other?
crew in the kitchen. I have 7 chefs
7.
and 7 cooks, and of course preps. In the morning we start up the morning early. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, that's pretty early in the day. Same thing going on in Boca.
Same thing in
Yeah.
Boca, yes.
And what's the day like at the beginning? Everybody's just unpacking all the fresh.
Yeah, we start, of course, receiving all the fresh goods in the morning. We check, then everything comes in the way we want it, our specs. And then, the first thing we do, of course, we start with the vegetables and, make sure, since, we do everything in the house. So we start filleting the fish to make sure we can cut it our way,
Fish,
and then the
meats,
meat.
everything. Yeah, all our
You
sauces are
trim
made
and break
fresh every
down
day.
everything fresh. And you can tell the quality definitely shines here. Ifo, what'd you think of that fillet? Did you have?
I haven't tried the fillet yet. The seafood, the halibut, unbelievable. What a great shot. Is there? I guess you can't let the secrets out as to how you prepared it, but I don't know that I've seen it served this way.
Simplicity is our secret.
Absolutely fantastic. Really is amazing.
Did you get to try a little piece of the truffle on top? And did it enhance your overall?
Outstanding. All the way through. Now,
Gustatory.
are these items? Would they be available any other times, or is it
Yeah,
just?
we run them as a special. Let's say, one day could be a halibut, another day could be a different jumbo scallop. So we like to change.
No, great job. Wow.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, as you know, most all our fish are on specials, so we only run fresh fish. So
Well, I got a little piece of truffle here, a little piece of that fresh halibut. It's Alaskan halibut, or is it from
wild Alaskan
wild
halibut.
Alaskan halibut? It's also a beautiful delicacy. I can't believe that this is how I spend my life now, Defoe. I go around taking
Lucky
these
man.
unbelievable bites prepared by master chefs, and gone are the days when I would hide under hats and beards and glasses as the critic for the Sun Sentinel, and then have to get all persnickety, or as you would say, insufferable, Defoe, and nitpick chefs. Now I only want to sing praises because there's nothing to nitpick here. This is these are perfect plates. So job well done.
Thank you.
Thanks,
It's
gentlemen.
always a pleasure to have you with
Yeah.
us.
All right.
Always.
That's great. Let's take our third and final break, and then we'll wrap up here from Casa D'Angelo. But that's not a wrap for you people out there. You guys got to come back. You got to come in. If you've never been to Casa D'Angelo, one of the 3 locations, go to the one that's most convenient for you. I'm closest now here to Fort Lauderdale. So
The
Angelo's.
Aventura location is fantastic. It's a beautiful restaurant.
Oh no, the build out in Aventura is beautiful. Ricky, we've seen.
Boca
Defoe
Raton.
goes there, and it's just a fantastic place. And Angelo sees me sneak in. We sit at the bar, me and Val, and then he'll say, "Oh, you came in." And it's like, and we always have a great time. So you will too. Come here to Casa D'Angelo, 3 locations. All right, we'll be back after more on the Lunchbox. After
Thank
this.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
When people ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida, Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good, with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended. For a special occasion or any occasion, Casa D'Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sampler that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Hey, it's Mayo here for Prezzo Italian Restaurants. 2 locations, Boca Raton at Park Place on Military Trail, and Palm Beach Gardens in the PGA Commons on PGA Boulevard. Contemporary Italian cuisine with house-made pastas, wood-fired pizzas, salads, veal, chicken, and of course their famous focaccia bread with oven-roasted garlic bulbs. In Garlic We Trust is their slogan, and you can trust Prezzo for a great experience with gracious service and tremendous value. Open 7 days, featuring brunch, lunch, dinner, and happy hour. Great wine deals and full bar at both locations. For reservations and more information, go to Eat. Right, we are back and full at Casa D'Angelo in Fort Lauderdale. What a lunchbox this was, huh? Did you enjoy your afternoon meal?
Oh, it's great. I mean, what's not to enjoy, Mike Mayo?
Well,
And one of the top-notch places, not just here in town, but anywhere in the country, maybe even anywhere in the world.
It really is one of the finest Italian restaurants that I've eaten in anywhere in the world, and they just do a tremendous job here. And got to thank both Angelo Elia, who is back in town. He spent the Thanksgiving holiday at his Aspen home. And because when you got a crew like Angelo Massanova and Ricky running the show, you could afford to, kind of go away for a couple of days because this place is always in good hands with these top-notch chefs. What'd you think of the filet? Did you get a bite of that?
Excellent. I mean, everything was top-notch.
Yeah.
Really, you could see why all of these highfalutin people like Al Michaels and his crew come in here, and you could go to a zillion different places, but you can never go wrong. It's been great ever since its inception. I was, like I said, here many, many times when they first opened this location. It was our original place, and always loved it. I seem to remember coming here one night and being overwhelmed. They had these giant prawns that was a special in one of the nights I was in here, and I still can envision being shocked at the size of these things, and then the tremendous taste and flavors. Really uncomparable.
Next time I'll
incomparable the
have
way
to
they do it.
ask him to bring out one of those for a big bite or something. No, I would never disgrace myself. You see, I was on my best behavior here.
You were a little more refined today.
Yeah, well,
This would
look at the
be
surroundings.
something more conducive to what people would expect from a
As they say, read the room.
high-end food critic.
And if I want to get an invite back here anytime, and if I want to show my face here at dinner time and get a table, I do have to behave sometimes. So,
Yeah.
Again, this was great.
Either that or you could act as the tablecloth. If they...
Yeah. Well, that would be down the block at a pizza joint. You could just lay a big old.
By the way,
pie on
Peter's
top.
getting rave reviews.
Yeah, he is
getting rave reviews.
blowing up, and I was so glad that we were able to get in there before the opening. And yeah, people just come in there, and I've not heard a negative word.
It's very surprising.
It's
Somebody would be complaining about the crust being burnt or something, but
he does a
haven't
great
seen it.
job. We wish him nothing but the best of luck. And hey, a couple of quick sponsor words. It's been a while since I spoke about Tropical Acres. They survived Thanksgiving. I got the final number for them. It was over 1,200 covers they did for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
I was in there for happy hour on Monday night after the whole crazy weekend. I saw Joe, of course, Jack Studiali's son. They got our new plaque hanging on the wall. The Trans World Business Advisors Iconic Eatery plaque is up there. Very pleased about that. And, Tropical Acres is there again throughout the holiday season. They are going to be open for Christmas Day, closed Christmas Eve, open New Year's Eve, closed New Year's Day. But for Christmas Day and New Year's Eve, they have availability. Give them a call now to get a reservations if you want to go there. 954-989-2500. No lack of choices. And then, of course, we got our friends at Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap. They're going to be doing all those great weekend brunches and holiday brunches at their 3 locations, including here in Fort Lauderdale. We love Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap. And last but not least, Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market. If you're going to be cooking at home, having holiday parties, get the finest in stone crab, seafood, and the like there. They also survived the Thanksgiving crush. I did not get a final tally of how many turkeys that they gave out that they sold, and that Doug Carter, bless his soul, he's 86 years old, and he is behind the counter there handing customers their 15, 16-pound turkeys, even at his advanced age. It gives hope for us all, Defo, that, we're still going to keep rolling, still going to have purpose. Although if I keep eating like this, maybe not for much longer.
You were pretty sparing with the portions that you ate today.
Well, again,
Very
these
unusual.
doubleheader
There's
days.
actually food left on the table.
It's
Which,
like they say at the racetrack, pace makes the race. And if you're doing a doubleheader, I don't want to run a first quarter in 21-2. I got to kind of take it easy. But you folks out there don't have to take it easy. When you come out here, just enjoy, have a great feast. All right, that's going to do it for today. Thank you, Defo. We'll see you tomorrow at Calabria.
Yeah,
Italian
looking
Feast
forward
Week
to that.
continues. And then, of course, the Friday will be at our favorite Friday Fun Day race place. That would be 10 Palms at Gulfstream. And Joe Beja chimed in on that post. I didn't realize they're going to be doing a New Year's Eve buffet at 10 Palms this year. He
Wow.
said from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m., $99 for New Year's Eve. Full
Good deal.
buffet, party favors, champagne toast. And I said, is there going to be racing from Australia and Hong Kong? Because that would go perfect with the New Year's.
They do have a casino there.
They do have a casino as well. All right, that's going to do it for today. We'll see everybody later. Enjoy every truffle shower, every pasta plate, and enjoy every sandwich.